Thanks. Well, we are going to run a very tight ship here this morning. We've got very important people on this call who are doing very important things. I am so excited to be, well, hosting this very relaxed and informal introduction for a lot of people to the Cartier Women's Initiative. And I'm so excited because we have got Deborah, who I will let you introduce yourself, Deborah, and friend of the connection table, Edwina Sharrock, who is a powerhouse based in Tamworth in New South Wales, who is the first and only to date rural recipient of the Cartier Women's Initiative. So I'm very, very excited to pull together a group of awesome people to watch this live and then also watch this recording back to find out about this program. And I would love, Deborah, do you want to do a bit of a quick intro to yourself? And I know you've got a couple of slides to sort of give us a bit of an overview of the initiative. And then I'm really excited to sort of have a bit of a Q&A opportunity with the two of you to sort of hear some more about your experience, Ed, and to sort of see what people need to do for next steps if they're interested in being involved. So welcome to you both.
Thank you so much, Jo. It's a pleasure being here and really having the opportunity to talk about this program in front of this amazing woman. So, as you mentioned, I'm Deborah and I'm the Strategic Planning Manager at Cartier. I've been taking over this program a couple of months ago. This is actually a global program that's been run for almost 20 years, and my role is to really find new applicants for next year edition. So if that's okay for everyone, I will start with a short introduction of the program so you all know about it a little bit better. And then I would love Ed to jump in and share her own experience.
Hold fire, Deb, radio.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Done. Share. Sorry, a bit of a mess here. Okay. Oh, can you all see my screen?
Got it.
Perfect.
Beautiful. So, the objective of the program is really to drive change by empowering women entrepreneurs. It all started with a vision, which was really helping women to achieve their full potential. And the journey started 19 years ago, as I mentioned, and the objective is really to help those women and those businesses which are in a certain situation. So, first of all, impact-driven businesses, which means businesses that have an impact on society or the environment. They should be also at early stage, which is between 1 and 6 years old, and woman-led, of course, but also for profit. And the mission is really to shine a light on women impact entrepreneurs and provide them with the necessary financial, social, and human capital. And really, this is to help them grow their business, but also develop their leadership skills. So the program is split in 9 regional awards. You can see at the bottom of the list there is Oceania, which is a separate region only since a couple of years old, because before Oceania was part of Southeast Asia. And the split means that we have many more opportunities now for Oceania to select fellows to be part of the program, because for each regional award there is a selection of 3 fellows to participate to the program. And then we also have one Global Science and Technology Pioneer Award. So this is about those technologies that are really disruptive and unique in the world. So it's a bit more niche specific, and that's why it's a global one. And when we talk about the journey of the program, the call for applications is now open, and it will close actually in just 10 days, so the 24th of June. This means if you are interested in applying, you should do it in the next 10 days. After that, we have the period of due diligence and fellow selection from July till December. We go through all the applications, and we will have jury members to really have a look at the application and score them as well. And those are 30 fellows around the world, because we have 3 fellows from each region plus 3 fellows globally for the Science and Technology Award, which means 30 fellows in total will be part of the fellowship program that will start in January next year. So the program will last a little bit more than 1 year, and it will include workshops, coaching one-on-one, but also the award ceremony that will happen in May. We do this every year. We select a different location around the world where the full community of Cartier Women's Initiative come together for the award ceremony. For the fellows that are part of the program for that specific year, they will get a full week of activities, including an in-person entrepreneurship program by INSEAD Business School. And then, of course, once they are part of the fellowship program, they are also part of the community for their lifetime. This is more in detail what kind of support we give. So for each region, for example, for Oceania region, we will have 3 fellows, and the first place awardee will get 100,000 USD, the second one 60,000, and the third one 30,000 to reinvest in their business. From a human capital point of view, as I mentioned, there will be the entrepreneurship program by INSEAD Business School, one-on-one skills-based training, executive coaching, well-being activities, and also the access to the lifelong learning program. From a social capital, this is also very relevant, because for each edition we have media visibility with 100 plus press coverage. We have networking opportunities, but we also have, we give access to a community of 500 plus active members worldwide, which is incredible. In terms of impact, since 2006, we helped 330 entrepreneurs from 66 countries, and we have given more than 12 million USD in financial support. So this is just a snapshot of a few fellows that are having an impact on society or the environment all around the world, going from South America with Tatiana connecting psychologists with patients, to Patricia providing job opportunity to people with disability, and so on. You can see really different examples, but they all have in common the impact that they have. And just to close, I want to touch base on the resources available for the applicants. So the website is really comprehensive, Cartier Women's Initiative. If you go to the dedicated pages of the awards, so selecting, for example, the regional award page, you will see all the eligibility criteria explained one by one, but also at the bottom of the page, you can download the guides that explains you, like the applicant guide will explain you exactly step by step how to fill the application, and then also the selection criteria guide will explain you how each part of the application is actually scored. If you have additional questions, you can either refer to me, or you can join one of the online sessions, which are called Ask Me Anything session, and they are available in the same page. You can just register and participate to them. Or there is also a global email address called applicants@cartierswomensinitiative.com. So that's it for my overview of the program. Maybe I'll pass it now to Ed to talk about her own experience, and then we can take some questions as well.
Amazing. Thanks, Deborah. Yes, Edwina, do you want to
Thanks,
kick off
Deb.
and fill us in? Give us a quick spiel on you and where you
Yeah.
are and what you do with yourself, apart from jet setting around the world.
Thanks, Joe and Julia. And so nice to see so many familiar faces and names on here. All right, so I will talk about my application process, and I really think, can I just say, feel free to ask any questions here. Okay, so open book, happy to answer anything. Don't hold back if you're sort of watching this going, yeah, but how, or I don't really understand that. Please ask and speak up. So at the time of my first application, and I will say I applied twice for CWI. I'm a registered midwife. I live in Tamworth, Gomeroi land, and I had started an online birth education platform called Birthbeat that grew and was really successful. We had great uptake, scaled, and I've now exited. We were fully acquired by another company. So that's my kind of brief business. And with CWI, I will say, I hope, like I just want to say, please, everyone on this call, just apply. Because at the time that I applied, it was actually Southeast Asia and Oceania. And now, just being Oceania, it's only Australia and New Zealand. And we don't probably yet have the reputation, I'm just going to be really open here, Deb, that Oceania, so like now's the time to really like sort of increase your chances of getting this unbelievable opportunity. And I just can't believe that more people haven't got onto this. So, a lot of awards have all these really great reputations and funding. Nothing is like this. Nothing is like this experience. So to the award application process, and I know so many of you are busy in the doing of your business, it is really comprehensive. Like it's actually quite a bit of work. But there are only 2 applications that I've ever done, and I did a lot of grant, a lot of government, a lot of sort of award and grant applications. The Cartier, and I will say the Telstra Business Awards, when they say doing the application actually, helps you and serves you well in the business, none of the government ones have ever served me well. If anything, they've caused a lot of frustration. Sorry if anyone's government on here, but it's the truth. The Cartier and the Telstra Business Awards were so valuable to the actual running and process of the business. So trust the process of the application. The first time I applied, I went through to the second round, and the second round involved meeting with people, them giving feedback, really understanding the business at a deeper level. And then when I didn't make it through to the next round, they came and did an online session. These people were in Singapore, France, all over the world, and gave me their feedback. And it was so valuable to the business. Like these people are the gurus in their space. And I implement it. Like I'm a doer. I am, I'm a good student and I like to get my gold star. So then when I reapplied the next year, they said, sort of did the thing and did the interview, and I got through to that second stage again. And they were very impressed that I had done and implemented everything that they talked about. And at the end, because it's quite proper, it's not nearly as informal as this, it is a very, formal process.
Excuse me, what are you saying?
They said, Edwina, and what will you do if you, aren't successful? I said, well, I'll see you next year. And they sort of laughed. And I got feedback later on that was like, no one had ever done that. Like no one had actually ever implemented everything and reapplied. And I was like, are you mad? Like just follow through. And I will just say that generally in business, follow up, follow through. That will make you be noticed. So got through. I think that was like we were about 8 months into COVID when that first launched. So a lot of ours was online, which was a shame because a lot of the component is travel and networking, but they did it very well. And then we joined the cohort from the year before in Dubai for the big annual awards. The other part that I found hugely valuable was the study and being able to do the study through INSEAD, and you're also part of their alumni now. And I actually really love that we've got this awards that's female focused. It is not about all the trying to be considered with my words. It's the real business. It's the numbers. It's the how are you going to meet the investors? How do you raise some serious capital? Who can we introduce you to? And at a time, globally, it's decreasing where investment is going into female founders, and in Australia, it's decreasing. This is such a powerful award. We need to be getting more money into female founders' businesses, and we need more for-profit, for-purpose businesses. So, again, 3 or 4 years ago, that wasn't such an accepted concept in Australia. I think it is catching on now that sustainable businesses need to be profitable, and we can say that openly. But that INSEAD course, the learning about for profit for purpose was the real game changer. So the application process, it is lengthy, but do it because it will serve you well. Make sure before you do it, you are able, be really clear. Are you the majority shareholder of your company? Don't go through the whole process. So have a look at the criteria. I'm just going through my notes. I'd written a few things down here. They're real investors too. I feel like a lot of these events that we go to, they talk about people who are investors, but they're big money, real investors who are very focused on female founders. And then my final bit would just be, it's the alumni as well. Multiple WhatsApp groups I've been very, very jealously following on. They're all in Osaka, or they're probably back, but they've all been in Osaka in Japan recently. Still feel free. I feel like I can message, WhatsApp, email my alumni. I am off on a trip today going to New York. Do you know what I mean? So in the WhatsApp chat, just who's in New York? They're incredible, incredible women. And it just massively expanded my personal and professional horizons on what's being done in the world, because they're all doing something for good, for a social purpose. And they're just honestly, the social, the imposter syndrome when you meet these women was unbelievable. And because it is Cartier, they do it so well. And you are so spoiled.
I bet.
And the fanciness of it all ruined me for any 3-star hotel I stay in, do you know what I mean, ever again, because they put you up in the 6-star, Deb, they just do it so well. And but it's been it was a genuine life-changing pinch me moment experience.
Thank you for sharing, Ed. It was so cool watching your experience sort of via LinkedIn, over your participation and things in the program. Can I kick us off with a couple of questions, and then if you've got questions in the crowd, do you want to put your hand up and we can work through those? I've got a couple of quick ones that were people that couldn't make it here. Firstly, what is the go? Can it only be an individual if there are co-founders? 2 female co-founders, can only one apply for the award, Deb?
I'm not sure. I need to check on that because it's the first time I'm hearing that.
So Bex Pekaski, Deb from New
Yes,
Zealand, was a
yes.
co-founder, and
Okay.
Beck applied.
Back, sorry, one.
That was
Yeah.
my understanding. Don't know if that's changed. But
Yeah.
if you're in a co-founder relationship, of a female founded business, work it out
Oh, yeah.
now, one
Yeah.
of you applies.
And the second question
But
was,
that could have changed, sorry, Joe. So just, Deb,
Okay.
can you take that one on notice and share it back with the group?
Yes.
thank you, that's your
Yes.
homework. I'm sure that's what you wanted to sign on for, Deb, is to get homework out of this call.
I refuse to take any homework today.
Okay.
No problem. You know what?
My homework is to follow up Ruby, who I'm watching there in the
I
bottom
will-
corner going, I was meant to follow you up. Sorry, Ruby.
So the other question was, obviously this you've already said in the presentation, Deb, and then Ed, you've talked about that for-profit thing. So this is, again, a really exciting thing that they're wanting for-profit businesses. For purpose, yes, but for profit. Is the aim of this program that investment scale exit style thing? It is going for growth, or is there a place in this program for lifestyle businesses that are still creating, like, is that investment side of things and the scaling thing a big focus of the award?
I would say yes. Deb, what do you think? It's about impact. So they talk about the ripple effect. And so how we have impact is to be able to scale. But I challenge you also all to think about what is the impact? Don't think scale just means online. Do you know what I mean? Like I think that is a bigger conversation. Smaller, a smaller business idea, but with a plan to empower 100 others who are going to empower 100 others. Do you know what I mean? So just think about how you're thinking about that, and don't think of the traditional. You could be working on a piece of technology or a way of doing something differently that then might not be scaled by you, but could be scaled globally. So
Yeah, and it's also about, even if you are at the early stage, because that's the point. We want to help those early stage business which have a great idea, great product, already generating revenues, to really grow. So it's also demonstrating where you want to go and like putting some thinking behind. There are a few questions on the application that ask about how you're going to grow in the next 12 months, for example. So it's something that you need to consider.
Okay, fabulous.
But think of that as well, and think of it in the language of how are you going to have more of an impact?
Yeah.
I mean, like really sort of think of it like that. I didn't take on investment from any of the investors I met through Cartier, nor did I feel pressured to, or in any way like that was a byproduct of the awards.
But you were able to use those
incredibly
relationships.
friendly. Yeah.
But you were able to use that to understand how you took on investment in Oz and exited. Yeah.
Or not. Like that's the thing. I actually learned more about when not to take on investment, or when are you not actually investment ready. That was fascinating.
Yeah. Is there any hands up in there in the things? There's another question here in the chat. Did you have to put forward a specific project in the thing?
No, and I'd probably reference, unlike things like AgriFutures, this is for what you are doing now and what is your focus. And then part of the process was you had to pitch to a panel of investors, of people with different experience, CWI, bring back alumni as the jury. It's called the jury. And you pitch to the jury about like what you're doing, what's your impact, what's your growth, what's the trajectory, what's your ask. That's actually what you're sort of more judged on.
Yeah.
Okay. And what I like is they're not trying to distract you and sort of do something else. It's like, stay in your lane, really. I really like the model.
Yeah, awesome. Any questions from people that are in here, Ruby?
I have a question. So how important is current profit or revenue to the application process?
So
Deb will
what
know the number,
Yes,
Ruby.
I know that. So we require just for you to have generated revenues for at least 12 months.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter, like we don't have a minimum. It's just like showing that you did generate revenues for at least 12 months. You don't need to be profitable, but just the 12 months requirement.
Amazing.
And Ruby, from
Yeah.
memory, some of that for me was grant funding. That's
Okay.
still revenue. Do you know what I mean? Don't all think about this as product revenue.
Yeah.
It's just to show that you're not pre-revenue.
Okay.
You've got
Cool.
to have something coming through that cash flow.
Yeah. And then one other question more for you, Ed, was would you be happy to share some of the feedback that you got on your application, like the things that you implemented the second year?
Nice, Ruby.
Yeah, I've got to really try and remember what that was. So
While she's thinking, Deb, look at this face. Ruby Reithmuller, you will see her face again.
yeah, I know. It's very impressive.
I will get onto the application.
Ruby, I think for me, what we don't do in Australia
Mhm.
and is done globally, and it's starting to change, is measure impact. You're an interesting product in that you would have data that would measure the impact that you're making. And my encouragement would be, don't think about, how many people have logged into the app. Think about how many people have logged into the app. So therefore Ruby has an amazing looking after young women mental health. So how many of those young women have then not required a presentation to a hospital, have gone on to, commit to the economy that they live in, to sort of think of that's what CWI are interested in. What's the ripple effect that you are achieving for women all over Australia, that you can also potentially the ripple effect for women all over the world?
Yeah. Okay.
For me, it was the lack of, with BirthBeat, it was a bit one way. I wasn't then consulting back with them and sort of knowing what the impact was. So even if you were to say how do you measure your impact? That's important to CWI.
Okay. Thank you. That's really helpful.
Yes, Julia. Ruby, 30-second elevator pitch, please.
What? Okay. Womankind is a social enterprise, so we exist to provide preventative and early intervention mental health care to teenage girls and gender diverse young people. At the moment, over 70% of our services are delivered in regional, rural, and remote communities through the Womankind app and going into schools and running workshops. Don't know how many seconds that was, but that's pretty much it.
Oh,
Damn,
wow.
she's good.
Thank
She's
you.
good.
I needed that.
Thank you for indulging me, everybody.
Well, also shameless plug for the connection table. For those of you who are not members yet, we have a keynote section of the in the Rural Speakers Bureau where you can submit keynotes that you're practicing on to the network, who can then give you feedback. And Ruby was our very first keynote in there, so that's another little perk to get in. You can hear more about what Ruby's been up to as well. I digress. I'm conscious that we have 2 minutes left before our global jet setter has to scoot.
No,
So
it's all right. I'd always give you more time.
No, well, I'm trying.
Can I call out as well? I want you all to think about your further networks, whether you're in business chats, business chambers. I know Trudy here has an incredible network. It's 10 days. We've got 10 days. Now you've heard this. Please then share wider as well. Tell them to come to the connection table and watch the replay. There you go,
Yeah.
Joe. See?
Thanks,
I
folks.
see how we've all just got to help each other more in this space.
Shameless. Nicole, did you want to ask something, or are you just thumbing up on that one? Awesome.
I'm just saying done already.
Good on you.
Deb, is there anything else that you would like to wrap this out with? I know that was a quick and fast insight into this, but I feel that you've got at least however many people have dialed in today and who'll watch this back with a lot better understanding and exposure to this.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I really wish that all of you apply because it is an amazing program, and my job is really to just create awareness around this because I feel it's very important to help you women doing this incredible work. And if you want, I can share with you, Joe, and maybe you can distribute a information pack with
Please.
some information that can be useful as I just shared.
That is so amazing. I will definitely share you that. With that, I will share the recording with everyone here. I will also share a link that if you are not a member of the Connection Table, we will give you a 3-month little freebie in there so you can come in and check us out. And of course, you're going to want to stay forever.
And
But
share that with your network so that they can rewatch this.
very true. Very true. Thank you, Ed. Edwina, Deborah, thank you so much. I'm sure everyone who wants to give a little clap or thumbs up in the crowd will agree with me that that was super interesting, super exciting. And I hope that we can get some really amazing rural women in front of your crew and the jury. That sounds very intimidating, but in front of the jury.
The jury, I'm not going to lie, is intimidating.
I bet.
When the people who are on this screen get through to the first round, please do not hesitate to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I would love to share with anyone who successfully gets their application in and gets through to the next round further, like my experience.
You're the best. Ed, you're a legend. Deb, so nice to meet you, and thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
And for all of you who have dialed in and are watching this back, let's get some rural gals in here. Very excited. Thank you so much for your time, everyone, and we will be in touch. Ed, have an amazing trip, my friend.
Thank you. Can't wait.
Everyone,
Much,
bye.
everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Ed. Much appreciated, doll.
Have
Hey,
fun.
Do you want to stop recording, Jules?
I was just thinking of something then.